So I'm out here on my job with the 220, and this is the pond that I cleared around last weekend. It rained again. Everything's a nice swampy wet mess like it was when I got here. I think I picked the bad way to go here, but let's see if I can get around. I'm gonna try to burn today. I'm gonna go down here to the backside of the pond dam and dig a little bit of a hole and put some of that drier stuff in there. The wind's blowing pretty bad today, but I think it's so wet it's not going to be a problem. I don't know, maybe I ought to just try to burn right here in the inside the pond. That might be the thing to do. The wind's blowing that way, so I could sit right here. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to burn right here on the inside of the pond. Right there. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I want to bring all that stuff right here and burn it right there, and then whatever's left, dig a hole back there and get rid of. If I do it right there, the wind's going to be blowing at me and I'm going to be downwind of the fire, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come around, grab some of that dry stuff and get a fire started right there. Well, that's how deep the pond is, 2 feet. I think I can dig out everything from the level of the water out this way and leave that goopy stuff out there, but take all this, and that should get it deep enough not to grow any more junk, hopefully. Well, it took about an hour, but it finally got nice and hot, burning that small stuff now. So before all that burns up, I'm going to go over here, jump the ditch I dug, and start grabbing these piles and bringing them over here to get that stuff put on the fire and burn up. I got to go up there and take 3 more trees down, those 3 right there, and get those on the fire so they can burn down tonight, so it'll still be nice and hot. Well, my GoPro's about dead, but I got everything on the fire. I just stacked it up. It's smoking pretty good, but at least the smoke's going up, and it should catch up there pretty quick, but it's about to be dark, so won't nobody see it anyways. I got 1 grapple full left of trees right here. I'm going to walk over there and throw down there beside it, and that's pretty much going to be it for today. Well, that's going to finish out the day right there. Let that burn down. I don't know why I washed the machine, getting it all sloppy and muddy, but that'll most of the way burn down tonight. There'll be some ends and stuff I can round up tomorrow, but I got a little project to work on in the morning. Then I'll come over here and probably put the grading bucket on, and I can go out there. That stuff isn't that deep, and lay some of it, go around here and lay it up here to the shoreline, and stack it up where it'll drain a little bit and dry out. And pretty much what I'm going to do is, like this dirt right here, I'm going to add that all the way around here and use the mud to raise that up. I'll put a culvert pipe in there and pretty much just raise up make a little pond here, a hole, kind of raise everything up around it, and then funnel all of this runoff, everything from all the way up there through the woods. I'll do a little swale or something, and then through a pipe into the pond. So should be at least 4 feet deep when I'm done with it. And that should be deep enough to keep the crap from growing in it. So back at my little pond here this afternoon, and me being me, I accidentally deleted the GoPro videos I took yesterday of stacking the fire up, but it did burn down. Gosh, I don't even know if I can walk over here. Looks like it burnt down some decent. There's still a fair amount left, but the smoke's blowing directly. There's some houses back over there, and I'm not gonna smoke them out on a Sunday afternoon, so I'll just let it be. And it's supposed to rain later. Yeah, I can't even walk over here, it's so dabbling wet. But it's supposed to rain later next week. I mean, it's not like I can set the swamp on fire anyways, but I'll come over here next weekend and finish burning that. But this afternoon, I'm gonna go up there and put my grading bucket on. I'm actually gonna go down here in the pond and lay some of that material back against this edge here so it'll drain out a little bit, and just kind of stack it up so it'll dry out some, because I'm gonna use it, see this ridge right here, and kind of finish filling all this in and rebuild the pond dam next weekend. And I should get it knocked out here if I can figure out how to get back to the machine. Mud, I mean, this dirt, the previous neighbor that lived over here had a backhoe, and you could tell where he dug a hole over there, and I gotta be careful of that, and maybe some right here. But the dirt's good once you get it higher than the groundwater. So I took that bucket off to put the grading bucket on, and my stupid quick connect for the hydraulic is bound up or something, and it won't connect. I think the fitting's gone bad. It was giving me problems with the, they'll spring back out once you disconnect them, where it got to where it wasn't springing back out, and I think I beat it one too many times there, and now it is jammed up. So I can't get another one of those today, so back to the digging bucket we go. It is what it is. Come on. It's just how it goes. Not everything goes right. So I'm going to try to go over here and venture down in there and see what I got. First, I'm going to go over there and just check on the fire, see how it burns. Alright, so I'm going to drive off out into the pond here and dig around a little bit. I went over there and just kind of pushed the pile up just a touch. Let it do what it's going to do. I don't want it to smoke too bad. Stuff seems really hard. That's why the ground's so wet, the water can't get down in there to it, or can't soak in. Anybody asked me if there was any fish out here? No, there's no fish in a little mud hole like this, but there's a few turtles. They'll have a nice deeper pond here before long. So I'm just going to kind of dig this out a little bit. Probably don't need the water to flow in here just yet. And I'm just going to pile this up along the edge. See if I can take this, that water back out a little bit, so I can dig that out. So the good news is I don't have to worry about getting stuck since the ground's so hard. Push it on out there so I can dig as much as I can out and just smear that mud back around. like the machine is kind of struggling to dig it. Well, I guess I'm glad I did put the grade bucket on, because it wouldn't have cut this. Well, the good news is that will dry out and make a decent shoreline material. If I mix enough of this mud in with it, it should grow grass, hopefully. Trying to dig a lake here, just trying to get it cut down so that it's got some depth to it, keep that crap from growing. And if I can get it that deep, all I'm doing is just pulling myself around here. I'll be happy. Like I actually was digging up some rock. Oh, I never thought, even living next door, that this would be this hard. I figured everything would just be swamp. Interesting. At least I know I got a good solid foundation for the pond. Alright, well, I'm going to keep on working my way backwards and see how much mud I can, or mud and dirt. Uh-oh. I see water flowing in. Not quite ready for that. At the end, there's going to be a lot of this mud, but maybe if I stack it up like this, it'll dry out a little bit. It seems pretty sandy. This kind of reminds me of that first pond that I dug. It had so much groundwater going into it. It was literally, the material was this hard. That 36-inch bucket was struggling to dig. Taking a couple feet out, and I'm going to raise the water up, so that'll put a good little amount of depth to it. out as much as I can. That way I can dig that a little bit deeper too. Duckweed right there, and I really want that to flow out, then maybe it won't recontaminate the pond, but I don't know. Duckweed, for people that don't know, is kind of like a green algae that grows on the surface of the water, and but it reproduces like very, very quickly, so like it doesn't take long for the whole top of the pond to be covered in it, and then it looks just really unpleasant. Fast this is filling back up. It's also pouring in over there too. Actually going a little better than I expected. I'm going to push a little more of this out. I can dredge right here without being in water. And I'm not letting, I kind of keep it dammed up so it doesn't flow back in. I want it to flow out. That way when I do cut this over into there, should drain that down, where if I need to push some of that or dig some of that out, I can go ahead and do that as well. Just making sure I'm not pushing so much that it starts to flow back in. That right there is some soupy stuff. that everything running off that hillside can run into the pond and not get dammed up. Because that would make a huge mess for me to have to deal with. Pretty crazy how hard this material is. That would definitely explain why everything's so wet. Water can't penetrate it. Which means it's a good base for a pond. Closer to 5 feet out here when I'm done with it, because it was probably 2 to 3 feet deep, and I'm raising the water level up a foot from where it was, and I'm digging it out probably 18 inches, almost 2 feet. It's gonna be a decent little water hole. I mean, all it's gonna be is just something pretty to look at. Maybe a little small fishing, but you know, there's no creek that flows into this, and if we do get a drought, it may dry up to where it really won't withstand fish, so I wouldn't put no trophy bass in here. Pretty much gonna be a minnow pond. I've cut a pretty good little section of pond out and laid it all against the shoreline all the way. Probably I've done about a third of the pond. Left the opening right there so that all that runoff can come in through there and drain into here. But I'm sitting about 2 feet lower than that water, and that's kind of some nasty stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can't go ahead and push that over and maybe try to get all that pushed out, and take this and lay it up over here so that it'll dry out a little bit. It might have been a mistake washing the machine before I brought it over here. A little wet. But I got all that liquid mud kind of pushed over here, and the water got it out. A couple turtles right there. But what I'm going to do now is just come out and dig some of this drier material, pile it up, and just let the mud spread out down there in the bottom. Because when I come back, it'll be full to this ditch, because that's the lowest point. So I kind of got to get all this laid out before all that goes underwater next week. That's gonna be a wrap for today, so not bad for a couple hours worth of work this afternoon. Come in here and got all that head section dug out and laid up on the bank or the shoreline so it can kind of drain out. Pretty much I got most of the bottom dug out. All this right here was above the level of the ditch anyway, so I can just sit up on the bank and dig that out when the time comes. But I got the center for the most part dug out. All this I can reach from the edge right here, so that should start filling back up, and the 5 turtles can go back out there and have a nice little deep section now. They'll just have to bear with it over tonight, and I'll worry about burning the rest of that next weekend and should get this wrapped up. Looks like a disaster, but it's coming along.